Drop.
Is this the fucking mic?
Drop.
This is exactly what I should be doing.
Hey, what's up and welcome to The Drop. I don't have my notes
You're
up,
live.
so I don't
You're
know
live.
what I'm doing.
You're live.
Dang it, I should. Alright, let's try this again. Boom! What's up and welcome to this week's episode of The Drop, your weekly source for all things NFT and crypto art, as well as upcoming drops by notable people in the MoGraph industry. I'm Matt Milstead. Joining me, as always, is Dave Koss. We're super excited to have Blake Catherine here, the super talented Blake Catherine, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, NFT artist of all time.
Oh, you too kind. Thank you,
Yeah.
Bill. No, it's a fun week as a whole. There's like a lot of awesome bays dropping this week. We got S. Makia, we got Sam Madu, myself, and then in the non-bay department, we got Ness Graphics, who is super sick.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, totally. It's going to be a good week. Let me see. We've got,
hold
Dave,
on.
we've got the list.
My-
Did I not? do
No,
the
no,
list
no, you're
correctly?
fine. No, you're fine. It's just that my things are not syncing correctly. I'm having technical problems today. You can keep going, though. Keep talking.
Boy.
Keep talking. We're good. I just don't have my list.
Nifty's been doing things well, I think, lately. You know,
Yeah.
limiting things to like one drop per day or something. I really like that, and it's not like been a crazy overload of I don't know, like what's the word? Like collaborations with like musicians and stuff like that. I found a whole lot of those over the past few weeks. You know, it's like, let's throw 3 collaborations with musicians and artists per day, you know, but I think they've kind of listened, you know, which is good.
Yeah, I think they really pivoted to just realizing also how much like, hey, it's not just primary sales, it's also secondary markets and longevity of a piece and making sure this isn't just CBS receipts of art in the future where they're never ending like garbage. And so it is nice to see that priority shift that kind of happened in the past month or so.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I wonder, and I don't know. Yeah, it has been nice to see that. You're not only doing stuff on Nifty, you're also doing drops on. Are you on Super Rare and Maker's Place as well?
Yeah, I did a exhibit recently with Vellum LA, which is going to be a digital art gallery really soon on Melrose and Fairfax in LA. I think it opens officially in September. But they were at the LA Art Show, and that was in partnership with Super Rare, which was really cool just because it was, I think they were one of 2 of crypto related / NFT related art installments at the whole fair. So because obviously it's a ton of art that week, and it was really great because they had an ambassador, basically Zach from Super Rare came, and he was educating people that were collecting art, being like, oh, like this is how this is tangible and also like still absolutely like worth purchasing, and like this is like the idea that goes behind it, and translating it to kind of like layman's terms for people who are otherwise just familiar with quite literal physical art to purchase. And so it was a really cool event to just see the worlds kind of coming together, which was great. And then cool. Also really love, I can never pronounce it, I just call it Hen, but the thing with Tezos, that's kind of like a, it's almost like a Tumblr page, I feel like. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no one knows how to pronounce it, but sure.
But I love them too because they're super green, which is great.
Right.
So if you have that kind of like moral thing hanging over your head about the energy use of current ETH, then you could go that route and be like, cool, like polar bears are safe, yay, because you know, individual choices clearly matter. But and then lastly,
not corporate America at all.
No,
Right.
They keep doing their stuff, but it's all us because we're using straws.
Yeah.
Listen, Bezos, give me more straws. I'll do my part. But Musk, to fly me to space, I'll be fine. But yeah, no. So that's a great alternative too, if for folks that are seeking the greener route. And there's just really amazing, affordable art on there. Like I find them to be one of the more affordable ones to get a really sexy collection and not break the bank. Because I
have noticed that as well. Yeah, there's a lot of really good artists who are on there, and I think a lot of it. I don't know if it started out this way, but it you know, it was because of the environmental aspect of it.
It was,
you know, And I think people really enjoy like being able to just, you know, like there's Rarible, for example. You know, Rarible, you can set your price to really, really low, but still there's the $40, you know, gas fee that comes along with buying something like that, you know, even though you're paying a small price. But with Hiyuk, or whatever it's called, you know, being able to buy it.
That's easier. Just
Right.
call it Hin.
Yeah.
Being able to buy it for like relatively inexpensive and like having, you know, basically zero gas fee is it's pretty cool, you know.
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you guys were following the madness. I think it was last week. Days are blending together. But Fuck Renders, Fuck Crystals.
Yeah.
I think the gas on that was like hundreds upon hundreds of dollars. Like, I think the
Yeah.
gas was possibly more expensive than the actual art, which is,
Yeah.
I literally waited and just got it off secondary because I was like,
Yeah.
I can just pay a chiller gas fee. And now, of course, I'm at a profit, so it doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah. Those
But-
things jumped up in profit real quick.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So like, it was so funny. A couple weeks ago during the drop, you know, I had one of the pieces that he did with Zed, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I had it on sale for a long time. Normally what I do with a lot of the pieces that I'll buy is I'll take, you know, I'll try and sell it for double what I paid for it, you know.
Right.
Or at least with some of your pieces, you know, I bought 2 of them, one of them to sell to basically cover the cost of the other one,
And keep the
then
other
one I
one.
get to collect myself.
Yeah.
You know.
I love that strategy.
So, you know, I had done that a bunch, but like I was surprised to see that because I hadn't heard anything about it, and it sold, and I was like, whoa, that's very surprising. And then I come to find out if I had just, you know, priced it 4 times higher, I would have made, because that
Yeah.
price, it's crazy to me that, like, you know, and sorry, I'm jumping all over the place,
No,
you
you're
know, but it's like, it's interesting to see like the different things that some of the artists are doing in order to increase the sales of some of their pieces, and then also add more value to their other pieces. Like the Fuck Crystals, for example, is a very cool thing because he's like, okay, what was it, burn 2 of his pieces?
Yeah,
And
it
then-
was open editions that happened during the like February March Madness, where everyone and their mother was buying NFTs, even if it was a bad decision on a price.
Right.
Not that his
right.
are, but like people did lose money during that time too.
Of course, yeah.
And he basically, I think one of them was like an open edition of like over 1,000, and I think the other one was over 700. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, at that point they don't have value. So it was really
Yeah.
smart for him to do a burn kind of transition mechanic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah,
those
because-
are more limited editions. Like I think he's
Mhm.
down to like 100-ish of each.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really cool. Yeah, I think the Zed one was definitely one of those ones that, you know, sold a whole lot of pieces.
Yeah.
And so like within the first like week or so of it being released, it went from, it was either $1,250 for the original price or 1,000 down to like $700, you know, which is sad to see. But
Yeah.
then, yeah, it was a great way to, you know, bring up the secondary sales. And now I think the last one that was sold was like $9,000.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
no, they went
Which
up
is
quite
crazy.
fast.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know,
It's interesting too because it's very gamified to go about that
Mhm.
way. And like for myself personally, like I outside of One Open, I'm very scarcity focused. So it's when I see that gamification, I find it so interesting because it feels almost more like, I don't know, like performance art than art proper, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
I could see
Like
that.
it's
I could see
very
that. Yeah.
I'm still
Yeah.
wrapping my brain around how I feel about it, if it's something I should do or not, because
Mhm.
it's so odd of a trend, I guess, is
Yeah.
the way to say it. It kind of started with Mad Dog Jones doing something burn related, like way back
Mhm.
when,
Mhm.
and then Fred started doing it, and now it's like, I feel like almost once a week or every other week you hear about some crazy burn gamified experience to sell or get rid of things, and it's like,
yeah.
it's really cool. It's just overwhelming.
And you
almost.
never hear about that in the fine art world. You know,
don't,
it's
Yeah.
like
yeah.
it's
It's
like,
very
hey, if you burn
sacrilegious.
one of your pieces, I'll give you a new piece.
No,
Like,
yeah,
that's-
it's very sacrilegious.
yeah.
It's
It's interesting.
good
I think
way to
the
get
way
out
Fred
there.
did it was good because it was such an excess. Like it was
Yeah.
so much of an excess, and it's still didn't make that piece go extinct. It just brought
Right.
it down to a more level playing field.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's a
Yeah.
good way to get your stuff out there to have some sort of gimmick or gamification, even if it's not to that level. Even people who do things
yeah.
like physical pieces that come along with it or whatever it is, having a little something just helps you get noticed, I feel like.
And I do like that. And lately also it's just crazy how I think someone had shared like a graph. This was like 3 weeks ago now, so it's probably outdated for all I know. But it was like 70% of I think crypto spending was only in collectibles. And it's like, how many collectibles do you need? 70% of the entire market shopping is buying that? That's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane. I mean, it's also like, what's going to be the next big thing to hit? You know,
Yeah, everyone got
like
so hypey.
Bored Apes, for example. You know, I mean, who knew those
Yeah.
were gonna? I mean, I had a feeling they were going to be pretty popular, but
Yeah.
like, I should have picked one up when it was 0.1 ETH. You know,
Yep.
That's what
crazy.
probably a lot of people do too, is they see little things like that and they're like, okay, I'm going to buy one of this and one of this and one
Yeah.
of this, and one of those will become the next big trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the rest is a failed investment, but oh well, you know,
Right.
live and let learn.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
Well, and some of these people have so much crypto money, it's nothing
Yeah.
to just buy
Oh
a
my
bunch of
God.
those. You know, just
yeah,
buy
I've
it
met
all.
some people who invested like when they were like early 20s or late teens and they just bought a ton and then now they're like oddly millionaires and it's like how are you so
Yeah.
smart?
Virtual millionaires.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
insane. And then they all moved to Singapore to evade taxes.
Right.
That's smart.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Singapore is where a lot of them go. They don't tax it.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. EJ says, Hen, where you can actually afford to support your favorite artists.
I know.
Yeah.
Hen is just such a pure experience. I really love Hen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that's like tough to do too, because you have all these collectors and you just can't
Mhm.
compete. You just can't compete,
Yeah.
right? Like if I wanted to buy something, luckily we got some of yours, especially at the beginning. But like,
Yeah.
if something is like $5,000 and it's a friend of mine, I'm like, good for you. I wish I had one, but I
Yep.
don't. And it's so nice to
Yeah.
be able to find a way to support your friends as well.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely. And like it's tough too because at the beginning, especially with like after my second drops funds, which were very blessed, I was like, oh yeah, buying all my friends' work. Like I bought so much of Bill Ellis's stuff. It's like
Yeah.
a bit too much. Just kidding, Bill. I love him. But it was like a thing now where it's like, oh, I can't, that's like not economical. Like I can't just keep
Yeah.
being like, you get a drop and I get a piece and this
Yeah.
and that. And it's like, I'm going to be on the streets with nothing but my JPEGs. Like, I need to calm down.
That's
And
fun.
we still got that #1 piece, that
We do.
edition #1 piece of yours that we
Oh,
all
you
went
guys
in
are
on.
so lucky with that number.
I know.
I know. It was
Yeah.
it
So
was so
crazy.
fun. You should have seen how excited I was about that. Like Dave texted and he's like, "Oh yeah, we won one." Because what we did was me, Ariev, EJ, and Dave, we all went in separately and said, "All right, we're each going to, bid on all 4 of these. And if
Yeah.
we win one, we'll split, whatever the cost is
Mhm.
of it, because we knew that it was going to be hard to get one. And then Dave's like, oh yeah, we got this number. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
We were
No, that's
very
Well,
excited
great.
about
I didn't
that.
even look at that. I was just excited to get the piece. And I'm like, oh, we got
Yeah.
it. And then we're like, well, which one? I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
#1. Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
still holding on to that one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only
that
the only
one's-
problem is that I transferred it over to Matt
Yeah.
to hold on to, and now I'm realizing, well, wait a minute. I don't have a piece, so I can't buy your piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he might
It's
have to
okay.
transfer it back to
I
me
have
for
I have 2 Eternal Flames. I'll transfer you
Oh,
one of
yeah,
them
you
so that
just-
you can pick up one of her
There you
pieces
go.
this week.
There you go.
Yeah.
Also, I'll be doing a giveaway of 10 pieces tomorrow, 8 Eternal Flames and 2 more Bora Bust on the Niftygate Discord.
Cool.
So
Oh,
if
sweet.
anyone's on the Niftygate Discord tomorrow at 2:30 PST, like it's basically an hour up until the drop, that I'll
Mhm.
be giving away 10 pieces total.
nice.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Well, let's do the drops this way, Matt. Let's start with Blake's piece, and then
Okay.
we'll go back
Yeah.
that way, so we can
Blake,
start
so
by talking about it.
Blake, the link that I have up here is the one, I think it was one that you were giving away to collectors that you posted on Twitter. Do you happen to?
Yeah.
I don't know will this be one of the ones that you're selling, or is this one only
So
One
that
of the-
was
the
just
gift.
a giveaway. And it was me basically, especially because like we had discussed, like the market was really, really dry and bad for a while.
Yeah.
And so like giving away 10 pieces tomorrow of existing work is one thing I wanted to do. I have one cheap drawing, which is I'll go into in a bit, which is for people who have held or have works as
Yeah.
well to enter. But
Do you
then for
have
that
do you have a
piece,
link anywhere to some
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
so I can
so
pull
that
it
we
up.
can preview?
see if
That's one of my
do-
biggest beefs with Nifty Gateway.
Yeah.
You should
I
tell
know.
them this because I really want to see the artwork ahead of time.
I
you know?
know. I don't, but I could give you guys a Dropbox link and you could just like casually just show it. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's
Do it that way. But yeah.
As long as we
show
don't
the
get in trouble.
non-minted, these like little virgin babies. But yeah, hang on. Where did I save it on my sloppy Dropbox? But yeah, no, so I'm gonna have that flower piece was really just for me to say thank you to collectors who, even though I think like most of them haven't collected my work, but it was more of just a way of being like, you kept the market alive, and like when there was drama and this and that, you guys continued to support artists. So it's
For
really
sure.
just giving back in like, I guess, a way that wasn't so direct of like people who have actually like bought my work personally. So yeah, that one is limited. And then here is this fun little link.
Yeah,
Where do I put it in?
You can put it in the
Skype.
Skype chat, yeah, where the little puppy is.
The little pup.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and
Now my Skype is being dumb, but yeah.
yeah,
Can't find the chat. Here we go.
the so we won't get in trouble for showing these, right?
No,
Okay.
It's
okay,
our
cool,
work.
Cool.
I'm allowed to
Ahead of
share
time, I
everything
mean.
today if I wanted to.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Cool.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah. But so the affordable drawing will be 300 each. It's the cheapest thing I've sold ever outside of a giveaway on Hen. And that'll be a key, and it's kind of referencing back to 2 keys I dropped in my first collection, Terra Futura. There will also be a 1-of-1 auction key. And then for each of the busts, so right now you have a clay one pulled up. Those clays will be 1-of-1 awarded to the top bidder for the main pieces, which are those. So those will each be ranked auctions 5 editions. And the top bid will get both a clay 1-of-1 of that piece as well as a physical signed and certified print.
That's cool.
I got this video
Thank
here. There we go.
And it's
Yeah.
all scored by Marriott, who is an amazing human being, and I love their work so much.
That's awesome.
Let me go back here.
Okay, so the one for the collectors, you said that one's 300?
No, the key will be, yeah.
The key
so
is 3. Okay,
every
yeah.
single thing in this drop is exclusive to collectors, and outside of the
Nice.
key being 300, everything, I wanted it to be very diplomatic, so it's all
Yeah.
auction format.
Very
so
nice.
if people want to rob me, everyone bid $1 and you win.
Aww.
Dropbox is so
Wow.
weird. Sorry, I'm having trouble with it. But
Oh, no, you're good.
there we go.
But yeah, it was really fun to work on this. I went really crazy with ZBrush, which has been something
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do for a long time. And this one was finally a project where I felt I was competent in it because I just lived in the program for a few weeks.
How do you come up with your colors? Like,
A lot of
your
tears.
color your colors are absolutely incredible to me. I don't think anyone else in the industry does color like you do color.
Oh my God, I'm gonna go cry. Thank you.
I mean, I'm serious. It's like it's like the Eternal Flame piece that I own is my absolute favorite NFT that I own. You know,
Aw, thank
I will
you.
never sell that piece. You know, that's why I own 2, so that I can sell one and make a profit, and
I
then
do
the other
like
one.
I do like
get
your
to keep.
scheme of like double dipping.
Yeah, yeah. I actually
so funny.
believe I bought 3 of those, and one of them I have already sold.
Nice.
You know, but that was a long time ago.
I love the key.
You know.
I'm trying to get Dropbox to load it here. Here we go. I could have just
Oh,
downloaded
thank
these, I
you.
guess. Probably be
Right.
Yeah,
easier.
so
Oh,
the idea,
beautiful.
this will be an addition of 20. That's the $300 one. So that's like the thanks, y'all are rad. I'm selling this cheapo. But yeah, with the keys, between these 2 new ones and also the 3 I released back in December, I'm going to slowly start doing a thing where at the end of every collection, I'll create a key. So the next
Oh, okay.
world building S series I'm doing is called Ouroboros, and that when that series is over, it'll have a key as well. And the
Nice.
over time, depending on the rarity of the key, whether it's a multi-editioned one or a 1-of-1, you'll get different tiers of almost like a Patreon that's more exclusive. Like I'll get back occasionally. There will be exclusive events or things happening occasionally. And it's just, again, like a different like membership tier level on Patreon. So that's just slowly happening with this drop, making that concept come to fruition.
And that's kind of a gamification. That's
cool.
a gamification. Like
Yeah, that's cool.
It's like a baby step into it. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
You collect all
I
the
do have
keys,
people
you can
requesting-
unlock one piece. You
Oh,
know?
Oh my god! If
Oh,
someone
yeah.
did that, Ham, I would have to do something special.
Right?
Because that would just be- yeah, I'd have to like just design that person something insane. But yeah, I have had people ask if I would do a burn mechanic for the Eternal Flame, and I'm debating on it for a future thing.
Mhm.
But at the moment, it just still doesn't feel right, and I feel like I
It's such a
want to do
pretty
it right if I
piece.
do it.
It's such a pretty piece.
It would be with the same intention as Fred, where it's like it's
Yeah.
not to eradicate it, it's to consolidate it.
Yeah, because there was 319 of those made. you know.
Yeah, and so to bring that down to like 100-ish would be really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So it's like I am entertaining how to do that in the future, but it would be months away if and when
Yeah.
I do it.
James is saying you 3D print that key and it opens a door to a secret club in LA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely wink wink. That's totally how it works.
Yeah. Just open up a club in LA real quick. No big deal.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
One speakeasy coming up. Hang on.
All right, Matt, you want to go into this list? You want to talk about this list a little bit?
Yeah, let's go into the list.
right.
Okay,
Let's
so for the nifty gateway drops, today we've got Shams. Shams is doing a drop on Nifty. which is
Fire.
exciting.
Fire.
Yeah,
Very
super fire.
fire.
I love this one that she's done. This one's a collector's only drop. I don't know if she has more. Nifty may have already posted
Oh, you can
it.
see her page now. If not, I can put it in the chat if it's still sneaky.
Oh,
no, it's
I
on
see
the
it.
main page.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
it. Here, Dave, I'll throw
Gosh,
it in the
Twitter's
chat.
compression. Oh my gosh, it's the worst.
I know.
Yeah. What is the
let's
link?
See. She's got 3 pieces. It looks like.
And you have to own like different things to access each
Oh.
one.
That's cool. And you have
Yeah.
to have a validated account.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
which I
here we
do.
go. Here we go.
yeah.
I think
that's
most
cool.
of them require you to be validated nowadays.
Oh,
That's
I saw
good.
Elixir on TikTok last night, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
did you?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I
Cool.
think she posted it. Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
Keeper
on
of
here,
Keys.
I'm able to enter her Keeper of Keys because keys are a theme this week.
I was
folks.
gonna say,
Right.
wait a minute, is there something going on with this now? Like, is there? Are y'all
I
planning
think
something?
It's like, I think it's everyone just being like, how do we make more exclusive things that are also easy to keep track of? And so having like some kind of totem, like a crystal or
Mhm.
literally a totem or a key, because outside of that, Sam Madu did her demon keys, which are masks, but she calls them keys, and that's an exclusivity thing. And then I'm doing the keys, and then Shams is doing the keys, and then Nest Graphics is doing the keys. So we all have keys this week.
Wow, that's cool. That's
It's
super
weird.
cool.
But it's cool that everyone's looks super different. Like it
Yeah.
just shows how you can be so creative with the same general concept.
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
and Ness
yeah.
is the next one on the list, by the way.
Yes. Let's see. So Nest Graphics on the 18th. I love Ness's work.
Yeah.
His
So-
detail is insane.
Absolutely insane. Yeah, like so good. I can't wait to pick
I
up
don't
one of those
remember.
pieces.
There was somebody I was talking to, and it might have been him. I might be wrong about this, but there was somebody that was like super big that I was talking to about this stuff, and I was like, "You got to come on the show. You got to come on the show and talk
Mhm.
to us about this. This is amazing." And whoever they were, I can't remember off the top of my head now, was like, "Well, I feel like I'm still a beginner, and I need a little more time before I come on the show." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
It's like, you gotta be kidding me. All right.
yeah.
You don't think you're that good yet. Okay. I don't
Yeah.
remember if it was, I don't remember who it was now, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I've got some love for Ness because Ness was the one piece that I posted on Foundation. He was the first person to bid on it,
Oh,
Yeah.
very
Oh.
cool.
and it drove up the bidding, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
You know.
Ness seems like a really solid person. I briefly met him for one of the events the other week during the LA Art Show week. It was the 33 Gallery. It was
Mhm.
at the Dream Hotel in LA.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was like so cool to see how humble everyone is in real life.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Let's see. Okay, so after Ness, oh, why did I?
You got Sam. Did you lose your place?
Yeah, Sam.
Oh, you didn't put a
Madhu?
name in the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why.
Sam Madhu. She's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like she did a drop. Did she do a drop on Maker's Place or something the other day? I could be wrong.
Don't know.
I don't know.
She's definitely dropped before on Nifty, but
Okay.
I think she's mostly just been Nifty.
Okay. Yeah, this one's good. I like this one.
It's really
So,
cool.
Second drop. That's on the
Mhm.
19th. So
Yeah.
demon keys that unlock
Yeah, the
secret
keys.
rewards.
Them keys, though.
Yeah,
Dem keys.
them keys.
Demon keys, though.
Yeah.
Demon keys. Dem on keys, though.
Oh my gosh. So
Dad
the next
jokes.
one that I have on my list, there was a couple others, but you know, my whole thing is if people don't post any of their work or
Uh-huh.
like promote themselves at all on Twitter, then I'm not gonna promote the. I've got
You
no
got
reason
nothing to
promote 'em.
show.
I got
I
nothing
will
to show.
say,
So
one of the
unless I
ones that-
specifically know them, like for
Yeah.
example, on the 21st, Philip Hodis is doing a drop, a collab with Thank You X, which if you know Philip's work, I mean, you know it's gonna be good. So I'm excited to see that. I don't have a link for it, but that one's on the 21st.
What were you saying?
So-
What were you saying? Some of what now?
Was it what?
Well,
What?
Blake was saying something.
Oh, I was gonna say on the 20th, the one that's very vague and hasn't been marketed yet because spoiler
Yes.
alert, I'm part of that too.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna actually be a collaborative drop with Fuck Render, Jason Abair, and myself.
Ooh.
Well, there you
So,
go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 20th.
See, and
I
that's
can't speak
important.
on
That's
it
important
other
for
than
us to be able to like, show on the show. Like,
I know.
Why
we're
don't they
actually
know?
Still finishing the art today because we're all just so busy. Like Fred had his
Yeah.
Fuck Crystals that took over. Jason's been doing an insane like video game level client thing, and for
mhm.
myself, I'm just like juggling people. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Matt's just like,
Mhm.
don't
But-
they know we need this for the show?
Don't they know? Yeah, come on.
Listen, if you want to come here and do my work for me, I it's fine.
Yeah. I just wish if you could put me in contact with someone from Nifty, it would be awesome because I would love to be able to talk to them personally and be like, hey, get me your schedule ahead of time so that
we can
if
promote it.
your social media person forgets to post on Monday morning, I will actually have something that I can.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
all four
know?
viewers that we have will be able to
Yeah,
get that information.
All 4 viewers of our show will be
So
able to see
modest.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So-
it is. I wonder if maybe it's also because sometimes artists run behind, and it's like, oh, God forbid we post the schedule and then an asset
That-
isn't in.
Very well could be it
I
as well.
kind of assume it's that because sometimes it, like for me, for my drop is tomorrow. I finished the last thing yesterday because again, like there was some days last week where I was like, I have a visualizer I'm working on, and I can't just do this drop, and you have
Yeah.
to exchange days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And you got some Maker's
So,
Place drops this week too.
Yeah, there's 4 Maker's Place drops. So the first one is Pascal Blanche, doing a piece called Space Pixies. This one's cool. I love it's very pretty. I love the use of colors. I love the illustrative stuff. Very good.
Illustrative.
Illustrative.
Yeah, that color is so vibrant.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like the
You
word
know, in-
illustrative.
in-
it's more fancy.
In
Yes.
TV school, they told us never use red. Red bleeds.
Wait.
It
that
makes
was
people
back on
hungry
old,
too.
it was back on old CRT monitors,
Huh.
like you couldn't use red, otherwise it would just bleed all over the screen. When they
Crazy.
upgraded to LCDs and stuff like that, you're totally fine to use red all you want.
I learned something.
There you go.
Boom.
Next up, we've got Hans Hummel for the Garden of Memory, which is pretty cool.
Where is
Hit
it?
play, Dave. I can't really.
Yeah, these don't
Oh,
autoplay.
this one was beautiful. I
Oh,
thought the work
man.
was really well done, and the 3D looked very, very
that's-
pretty.
Wow.
Really, really like
Dang.
that. Right?
Holy crap, that's a lot of detail.
That is a lot
Yeah.
of detail.
Gosh,
So
that's
I was
so
really
much
happy with this one.
work.
Like that looks great. So the pieces
That's
are really,
intense.
really good. Really
Wow.
well done.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Right?
That
Ooh.
is freaking amazing. I do recognize this piece right here in the middle, though, from
is that from
Megascans.
Megascans?
That's definitely
Yeah, I was
Megascans.
about to say definitely some mega scans.
Yeah, that's one of their pillars.
Ah, I see what you did there.
I didn't even have Dorpy here.
Hey.
Next up, we've got Lush Sucks. So Hans and Lush Sucks are doing their drop on the 18th. This one's called I Miss Belle. So this is like a
Oh, that's a
What is it?
YouTuber.
Oh, not Belle Delphine. Ew.
Yeah. Scroll up a
Oh,
little
that
bit,
girl
Dave.
is
Does it
so
come with bath
creepy.
water?
So it says no, scroll back down. Sorry,
Oh.
there's the description on the piece. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The quintessential e-girl and purveyor of fine bath
Bath water,
waters.
yeah.
Plus a special burn party. So I don't know. That could be interesting. So
That girl's problematic. I will not be partaking.
Okay.
Oh, the bathwater. How weird.
So Lush Sucks, I think, recently did a drop on Nifty Gateway a few weeks ago too.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. He's pretty active in general. He drops a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Australian artist.
Has
right?
Bella Porch done an NFT
Yeah.
yet?
I have no
I
idea.
feel like she would be in the NFT scene.
No idea.
No idea.
So next up is Dozbrak. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. This one is called Screen Icons.
Guess is as good as
an
mine.
Irish artist hailing from Cork. Cork, apparently.
Ooh, this is cool
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
Oh, that's
that was really
fun.
cool.
Oh,
Super,
Breaking
yeah,
Bad.
like they're like
Nice.
caricatures or whatever
Yeah.
of like all these famous scenes from movies and stuff like that.
Cool.
Really good work. I like it. I think it's really pretty.
Mhm.
You think this is
Really
like
unique
so.
style.
Procreate?
Yeah,
Probably.
I think so. I think it's probably Procreate.
Hmm.
So
That's pretty
I don't
cool.
know. Yeah,
Any
Really good
more?
stuff.
Do we have more?
that's it. That's
That's
it. All I've got for the drops this week. If anyone
Community.
has any drops that they're dropping, make sure to send us info@mograph.com and we'll talk about it on the
Yes.
show.
Community drops. Got one community.
Do we have
drop.
any community
We
drops,
do.
Dave?
We do. This
Oh,
is
go.
from Raj the Goat.
I was like, oh,
Raj
Goat.
the Goat.
Mhm.
He's got Jelly
Jelly
Feels. And this was actually on the 13th. It was in between shows. So I talked to him like I think right after the show last week. I was like, send it over. And so make sure you check out Jelly Feels. I don't know the information on how many there are. I don't know if it's one or whatever it is, but go check it out. And we'll put a link to all of these NFTs in the show notes and whatnot.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Let's see. I was gonna ask you something, Blake, and now I don't
Yeah.
remember what it is. You've collected a bunch of NFTs yourself, right?
Yeah. I think they're all pretty much plugged into Showtime. So tryshowtime.com.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can see, because I love that you can also see stuff from different wallets. So it's like my Tezos stuff and my like ETH stuff is all in there.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's neat.
There's Raj
So
the Goat
let
in
me
the chat.
ask you about this, because this is something that Dave and I were talking about, because buying fine art, you can technically write off 100% of the purchase price that you paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've talked to your accountant or anything, or if you
My
have
accountant
any.
literally was like, I don't get this, find a crypto person. And so I am
that's funny.
hunting. I am hunting very hard for how to figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because from the way I understand it, art is technically considered an investment.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
whether you hold on to it and stuff like that. Versus like if you display it in your house, if it's
Right.
like considered decoration, then it's not considered, you know, one that you can write off, because it's I don't know. It's really interesting when you go into it, but like being
no,
able to write off all the art that you or we have bought, you know, would be a really interesting thing.
I
So-
hope that's the thing. I mean, obviously, I know for a fact when you sell, you pay taxes on that.
Of course,
and
yeah.
you take in whatever the ETH value is, unless you're doing it through fiat, but you take
Yeah.
in whatever the ETH value is, and that's how you calculate how much you owe on taxes off how
Yeah.
it's appreciated or depreciated.
Yeah.
But as for just like buying and holding, I literally have no idea. I've heard mixed reviews. I don't know if it varies per country, per state.
Yeah.
it seems like it's very much a thing where all the all the governments are like, we want this money, but how do we tax this money?
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
I'm not very sure at this moment.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting thought.
Yeah, I
Interesting
hope it's
thought.
write-offable. It'd be way better.
It's hard enough to find a good accountant, let alone one that understands all this crypto craziness.
Yeah,
So-
it's like I don't want to go to jail because I accidentally tax evaded. Like,
Right.
I'm pretty
Right.
down. Like, just tell me how much I pay you.
Right.
Yeah, I know. It's stupid. It's like, here's what's dumb. I don't know. I when I sold my Beeple, you know, I built into the price that I was selling it for the taxes that I would have to pay
That's
on
smart.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
really.
So that money's just sitting in a account, gaining interest. You know.
Honestly,
So-
the way to do it. Yeah.
Dave, I just posted.
I got
Andy Needham hit me up and just said, I know you're doing the drop right now, but Ariev and I are featured in a drop this week. Playingarts.com, their crypto edition.
Oh, there's a lot of good artists on this.
I don't
it
know
says
anything
drop
about it.
is this Thursday.
A
So
deck of
this
playing
Thursday
cards
they're gonna-
featuring works
Yeah.
of 55 leading artists. Oh, that's interesting.
That's really cool.
Huh.
That's super cool.
I like that.
So-
Well, what do you?
Yeah, I
what
like
do
that
you?
too.
Is there like a game? What do you do with this?
Oh.
I have a feeling it's going to be one of those exclusivity things again. Like
Yeah.
where down the road having it gets you something.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Look at this. This is because if you got a straight flush, then that means yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of good artists in here, though. It's great to see so many familiar names.
Yeah, seriously.
This is an interesting concept here.
That is cool. That is cool.
I like the slow reveal as well.
Right?
I'd like to have like physical version of this. That would be
Yeah,
That
right?
would be really cool.
That would be
fun.
rad.
That would be so cool. You got all your friends' art as playing cards. Oh man. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is cool.
This is really cool. Okay, I'll bookmark that and put that in the show notes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Drops in 3 days.
Totally.
Wow. That's cool. See,
Like,
another
I w-
gamification type thing that's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Another thing I was going to ask you about, talk to me about your involvement in this 888.
Oh yeah, yeah,
stuff.
for sure.
That thing. No.
Oh, yeah. That
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically it's going to be on a coin that I believe it's just called Flare, but it's
Okay.
from an old coin that they're basically doing new contracts, whatever the hell with, and refreshing and re-releasing.
Mhm.
It seems like because it's had some difficulty relaunching, like I think they're still like working out kinks, that
Mhm.
it has pushed the platform launch date back, because originally we were looking at like this was
July
months
or
and months
something,
ago.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was July. And now we're like, okay, September-ish. But once those kinks, because those are all back end and have nothing to do with me,
Right.
are settled, then me and a handful of folks are all taking on different roles to try to make a very artist curated and art for artist platform.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
so I'll be working with Malavita, the super colorful, amazing rainbow designer queen. And
Mhm.
we are going to curate women talents. There's
Nice.
there's
Very
a there's people like David Aria. He's going to be, I think, focusing on, I think it was like motion graphics or something. There's
Mhm.
going to be a guy doing photography curation. There's going to be
Oh,
one for
cool.
film. So it's going to be very varied. And obviously, it's not black and white either. Like if I am like, oh, I think this woman artist is really dope, but I'm not familiar with photography, for example, then I can
Right.
talk to that curator and we can have like these kind of like more collaborative discussions on like, oh, should this person go into like of the 3 tiers, which is like kind of everyone, people that are a little higher brow, like in the field, where by higher brow I mean they just have more of a portfolio or a resume behind their work.
Right. Gotcha.
And then the top tier is like a 1 day, every once in a while drop, which is the most exclusive because obviously it's not crowding the space and there's only so many days in a year or a week. So that's like the most intense one. But I think it'll be really honestly healthy, because my big critique, and still my big critique for almost all these platforms, is there's some really questionable curation at times.
Right.
And it's not to be in a way that's like, oh, this is good or this is bad and it's black and white, but like copycats or people that rip people off or
Mhm.
people that are minting tutorials, and like
yeah.
Yeah.
there's no place for that. Like that's not being subjective, that's objectively frowned upon. Like
Right.
that's not good. And so I'm really excited that it is such a heavy initiative going into curation and different genres and identities of curation, because that should, between all those brains together, gatekeep out any of those folks who are a little sus or sketchy and that kind of make it seem like a not so great marketplace.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
good.
that's kind of where we're at now. It's kind of just still early because of the fact that we got to wait on that coin that it's going to be based off of. Also, that coin will be greener, just similar to Tezos. It's a green one versus ETH, which has clearly still a footprint to improve upon.
Yes.
And then on top of that, it should just be kind of cool to see the different tier structures so people can feel like there's a place for them wherever. And it'll be easier to discover new artists that way, too.
Totally. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it should be really fun. The
Yeah.
website did great. Obviously, like the trailer was super sick that David mastered
Mhm.
and
Oh,
all that. So I really
Yeah.
have been thankful that they've been really precious and not trying to just speed run and launch things before they're ready.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That is-
Yeah.
that's smart.
There's that kind of urgency that I think, especially back in like February and
Oh,
March,
yeah.
like everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, we have to." Anyone who was going to launch a platform is like, "We got to do it now," and it's
Yeah.
like, just take your time. It's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
And you saw some things that got super intense heat or hate, whether they were projects or platforms, etc., because
Yeah.
they didn't have the customer service ready. They didn't
Right.
work out the
Yeah.
kinks of how failed transactions would do.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, make sure you don't piss off people on day one.
Right.
Yeah, right?
That absolutely.
It's good to not do that.
Yeah. I do want to mention that Andy mentioned in the chat here there are physical cards for this.
Yes.
Oh,
by
that's
the by.
awesome.
Yeah.
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 Might have to get that.
Right.
Look who's here.
Uh-oh. Look who it is.
How's it going?
Oh my god.
How's
how
everybody
crazy.
doing? So,
We're good.
Blake, I was hoping that maybe you could put in a good word for me with Parrot's Hilton's dog, Princess.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure she's single.
Yeah, yeah.
She's waiting for you.
I saw her at a bar once. It was called the Doggy Door. But I didn't want to intrude because she was hanging out with her friends and kind of seemed like she was having a ball.
Oh,
Yes.
boom.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, I didn't want to come across as a creepster because I was a bit Shih Tzu faced.
I can't.
Yeah. I know she's a pedigree and probably way out of my league, but if you could just tell her I'm a big fan and I'd love to hang out sometime, even if we could just like do an NFT collab or something, that would be great.
Okay, I got you, Dorpy. You good?
Okay, cool. All right, bye.
Bye. As my cat leaves too.
Speaking of, that actually brings up we got a few more minutes, before we got to hop off. But I would love to hear more about the story with the collaboration with you and Paris Hilton. Like, how did
Yeah.
that come to being?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I saw interviews with y'all together, and like that's so
That's
cool.
pretty
Like
cool.
that's
It was
that's
really cool.
like,
Yeah.
That's
I like
a
geeked
fun
out getting to
project
see
to
that
work
little
on.
puppy mansion in real life. I was like, yes,
Uh-huh.
please. So God, this was like back in January or February. I don't even remember because time is a construct. But it was my producer at the time, Ashley, who's now been promoted. So I have a different producer. She reached out and she was like, hey, like, there's a really cool female person that would like, that you probably know the name of, that would like to collaborate. And it was pretty vague, but I was like, like I'm really busy with client work right now. Like I really can't, blah, blah, blah. And then like a week goes by and she comes back and she's like, hey, this person just is so-and-so. And she's like, it's Paris. And she's like, and she just really, really wants to work with you. Is there any way, I don't want you to feel stressed like you have to, but I just thought that I would express that this is like a very genuine interest. And I was like, oh, that's like really flattering that, you know, it's not just being like, oh, pick someone else, like I'm busy. And then I was like, oh, that's really flattering. And my knowledge of her was really just that she was always in the spotlight and had pretty gracefully handled a lot of stuff compared to like the Britney Spears, the Lindsay Lohan eras where that spotlight could really ruin them. In my opinion, she always handled it pretty gracefully. And so I was like, yeah, that sounds good. Googled her name, was like, yeah, seems like she's just a businesswoman nowadays. So that's cool too. And then we started having weekly meetings, we emails, we had WhatsApp to get each other. Like it was really fluid where it was just really conversational. She had like printed out like actual like Instagram screenshots and like had taped them to poster board to like share her mood board, which was like the purest thing ever. Like I was like squealing at how like sweet and lovely that was. And yeah, it was just kind of like starting with just being like, how can we, you know, take what I love to do, which is very escapism like, and fuse that with her concept. And her concept was about empowering and like, because she has PTSD from a lot of situations and stuff. And we're like, you know, creating like this very safe feminine moment with the pieces. And it was fun as hell. And then I don't remember if it was her idea or my idea, but we were like, we got to get a dog in there. And the Chihuahua sculpt was like my favorite thing. I was like, the dog has to happen.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was just really fluid. Like it was genuinely just chatting almost every day, meeting once or twice because it was pre-vaccine and we didn't want to be responsible. So we really kept that minimal. But yeah, just being able to work with someone on a much more personal level. Like it felt like a collab and not like a client. Because we were both hearing each other and working forward with that. And that was really fun.
There's those collabs that it's like, oh, so-and-so and this artist are doing this thing, this music and artist collab. And it's like, okay, well, they actually have nothing to do with each other and they never even spoke in person. It was just like their people saying, hey, will you make a thing and send it? Like she's so into it. And I didn't realize this.
Very into it. Yeah. Like when we were there, because we did like one of her like podcast ups, me and Ashley went there to do that, just to talk about the process for, I guess, her audience in that sense, because so many people were still uneducated at the time of what it really was.
Right.
And even then it was just like she was just all ears of like anytime there was information where she was learning about the NFT market or the crypto space, she was like, oh yeah, like repeat that, oh okay, this. And she even made like a funny jingle of like ABC, it's as easy as NFT. And it was just like a really like fun, like pure time. But it was like, wow, she's like genuinely passionate about this. It's not like some collabs or not collabs where they drop, they make their money, they disappear, and then they're like middle fingers to the air. So
it's just the money grab. And she's so
and
like,
there are those people, you know. So
what's funny is, so I was watching one of your live streams, you know, when you were just hanging out on Twitch live streaming, and someone was talking about collabs, and this was before the Paris stuff was announced, you know. And I remember you asking, how do y'all feel about collabs? Because
that was me testing the water.
Yeah, which I realized that after the fact. And, you know, I was like, who's she collaborating with? You know, like, who would be a good collaboration with Blake Catherine? And when it was announced that it was Paris Hilton, it was like, perfect. Yeah. You cannot get more of a perfect collaboration between two people, you know? And I thought it was great
too. Like she really is like, I mean, I'm not gonna, she calls herself a tomboy, but I was like, honestly, it doesn't seem like a lie. When I was like hanging out with her, I was like, she's chill, she hangs, she can be a dudette. So it was like great that it was also like, because I am not a very bubbly-esque person, which is like her on-screen persona quite often.
Right.
And it was great that it was like, oh no, we're like get along very well, super relaxed, like would get a beer with you.
That's the thing. Cool. That's what makes the collaboration work. And the other thing is that educating your audience, if you're not like an NFT artist who has NFT followers and they're following you for being an artist, anyone else who's getting into NFTs has to educate their audience about what the NFTs are, or they're not going to buy them. They're going to be like, I don't know what that is. How do I do that? A MetaMask? Like,
it takes a second.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and that's so genuine. And a couple of years ago, before NFTs, I remember seeing some video on YouTube or something that was talking about Paris Hilton in general. And you would think, like any movie star or celebrity that you see, oh, well, they've got millions of followers, you know, they're a celebrity. And the video I saw was talking about how connected she actually is with her audience. You know, so some of that you could see when the NFT thing came around, because she's educating herself on NFTs. She's educating other people on NFTs, and she's totally into it. It's not the generic collab money grab and I'm out type thing. So that's what also seemed to me to make this a more genuine collaboration, just all around.
Yeah.
Just knowing all
And
of that.
she's also signed on to be a leadership role at the 888 platform as well. So it's like
cool.
she's very
Yeah.
much still has her like feelers all up in the space, and I think she's working on another collab right now. I promise this time it's not me though. This time I'm not pretending to like not be doing something. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's inspiring to see, because like also one thing that I would love to see more of in the NFT space isn't just visual artists. Like I'd love to see musicians and poets, film directors, etc. Like I'd love to see it become a more omnipresent kind of space. And
Yeah.
so to see people that aren't just visual artists having a passion for it and getting into it is really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Any other NFT related things that we want to talk about before we wrap up today?
Support the Bays this week, and Ness is cool too, so support that dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm very excited for your drop. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm always nervous, but I think it's also just because I am super desk riddled
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Like I can't leave my desk.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's like I'm always online right now.
We appreciate you taking a couple hours out of your life, your busy
Oh, no,
schedule, in
always.
order to hang out with us. You know.
Yeah.
So
Super excited for Camp MoGraph and to hang in real life.
Yeah.
yes, it's gonna be fun. It is going.
I'll be
to
a green
fun.
band too, so people can hug me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we
green
go.
bands.
Matt, you want to play us out of this show?
Yeah, if you or anyone you know in the industry has a drop coming up, make sure to email us info at mograph.com. We will shill your work on the show. Other than that, make sure and listen to us every week. Let's get back to the regular show.
Woo!
Drop. Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.